guys, welcome back to another one. What's on the menu today is butternut squash soup. Butternut squash contains slightly more vitamin A and C compared to pumpkin, which explains its rich, deep orange color. It's quite rich in antioxidants for this reason. This soup recipe is great, especially for breakfast in this Kenyan August winter weather. It keeps you warm and cozy with a full tummy to take you throughout the day, which are the two very important things you need to keep going in this weather. And of course, a nice, warm and cuddly bear hug. And cuddle wouldn't hurt either. I started by cleaning my butternut pumpkin thoroughly because I'll be using it together with the skin. So I'll just cut off the ends and slice it into round thick discs about 2 inches thick. I'll be roasting my butternut squash in the oven. Roasting it gives it a very nice flavor. Takes it from 0 all the way to 100, guys. If you don't have an oven, no need to set it. Of course, I'll always give you alternatives. 1, you can boil your butternut squash. 2, you can deep fry it. And 3, you can boil it until it's a little tender, then shallow fry it on a pan. I would highly recommend this method because the result is very similar to the oven baked one, just that it's a little more work. Oh, and don't throw away the seeds. These are gold, guys. We'll roast them and garnish our soup with them. They're very nutritious. So as you can see here, I'm just taking out my seeds from the pulp of the butternut squash. Yeah, here we don't throw anything away, guys. Here we use everything on our pumpkin. Yeah, we use the skin, we use the seeds and the flesh as well. So what I'm going to be doing here is cleaning these pumpkin seeds just to remove the residue pumpkin strings that you get from this particular part of the pumpkin. I'm just cleaning them and then I'm using my sieve to clean them further and to prevent them from going inside my sink. So these we're going to save, keep them aside, let them dry out, and then you can put them in some oil and roast them for about 3 minutes. Or you can put them in with the pumpkin that we're going to be roasting in the oven. They are very crispy. They make a very good snack, guys. So here I'm just putting my diced butternut squash little pumpkins, and I'm just arranging them in a way that they'll all fit. And here I'm just drizzling some sunflower oil just to prevent them from sticking, and the oil gives them a nice crispy taste as well. It gives them a nice brown color once they're ready. So here I'm just using a brush to brush them, and look at that, they are coated. Just make sure you coat both sides, the bottom and the top. Turn them over, coat them with enough oil, and they're ready to roast. Look at that nice color. So here I didn't use too much oil, I just used enough to coat my pumpkin, and I'm just putting it in my preheated oven. And here I'm roasting them for 30 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. And this was 30 minutes later. Our butternut squash pumpkin is ready to take out of the fire. Just make sure you have mittens, oven mitts, to prevent your fingers from burning like mine. I'll be sure to get some oven mitts, guys, don't worry. As you can see, they are ready. Look at that nice crisp color. Wow, look at that. You can even eat them like this at this stage. They make a very good breakfast option. So I'm just setting them aside here. I took them out of my oven and I'm just waiting for them to cool so that we can blend them. So as they cool, I'm going to be working on my coconut. I'll be using coconut milk to make the soup, and I used a raw coconut. I just crushed it here, and I'm just peeling off the skin after removing it from the shell, because I'll be blending this and then I'll be squeezing it, and the pulp that's going to remain is what I use to make my granola. If you've not watched my granola video, it's about how to use oats. This is a pumpkin, this is a coconut that I used. So here I'm just putting them in my blender. Just make sure you cut them into small pieces to make it easier to blend. So here we're just making some coconut milk, and I'm going to be adding about 2 cups of warm water. Warm water is best to blend coconut because it's a little oily. So here I'm just blending it. Blended this for about 5 minutes until the whole coconut was crushed. As you can see, my milk is looking nice, and here I sieved it. And this is what I was talking about. I didn't throw this away. This is what I used to make my granola. These are coconut flakes. I just put them in the oven for 30 minutes, dried them, and voila, my coconut flakes were ready. So here's our coconut milk. I'm just going to be putting this aside. This made about 2 cups of coconut milk. And here I'm just blending my butternut squash that is already cooled down. So I'm just adding them into my blender. Look at that nice golden color, guys. So beautiful. I had to taste one here. Yeah, and it has a sweet taste. It's very nice, guys. So I added about a cup of water. This is cold water, and I'm just going to be blending it. So here you can add some water depending on the thickness you want, but what I like to do is blend it with a little water first, and then I check the consistency and then adjust it accordingly, like I was doing here, because I wanted it thick but not too thick. I still wanted to retain that soupy consistency. I didn't want it too thick, so I added about half a glass of water, and I like the consistency here. And remember, we'll be adding some coconut milk as it cooks. We are going to cook this, yeah, because it's cold here. So here I'm just chopping up my onions. I used garlic, 4 cloves of garlic. I used ginger, I used leek. If you're an OG in this channel, you know the drill by now. This is what we use in almost anything that we're going to be frying. And of course, my coriander stems and leaves. So I'm just chopping up everything here, and I'm going to be using my pan. I used about 2 tablespoons of cooking oil, and I added my onion, my garlic, my ginger, and the stems of my coriander. The stems of the coriander gives our food a very nice flavor, guys, and a very nice aroma as well. So I just saved the rest to put them at the final stage of the soup. I still want it to have some chunks in it as we eat it. So I'm just adding it in here after my onion and garlic mixture turned golden brown. So as you can see, it's still a little thick, So I'm just going to cook it here for about 3 minutes. And I decided to add some sweet corn. The sweet corn gives it a very nice chewy texture. And since it doesn't take long to cook, this cook in like 2 minutes, yeah? So I'm just removing them here with my knife and then getting them out. I used a cob. As you can see, our soup is almost ready. So I decided to put my spices. And you can add whatever spices of choice that you like. I used Himalayan salt. I used mixed spices. I used a little bit of cardamom powder and a little bit of chili, this cayenne pepper. And you can always alter these according to your liking, guys. And here I'm just adding my coconut milk. I added about a half cup of coconut milk, just to give it that soupy consistency. I already like the consistency at this point. So I'm just making it a little runny so it has a soupy consistency. And at this point, you can add your sweet corn and they just take a few minutes to cook. This will cook in about 2 minutes and it will give it a chewy taste. So it's not too smooth like a baby's food, guys. Here in Kenya, babies eat this. I know it's everywhere actually. Babies eat this. This is the fast foods that they're introduced to. So you don't want it tasting like that. That's why I add these things at the final stage. I put the garlic, the onion, and the coriander that I saved just for that chewy texture. And take them off the heat and serve. This is the best part. This is the favorite part. And you can have them with buns. I had mine with these kaffu buns. And I garnished them with those pumpkin seeds that we saved earlier. I just fried them for about 5 minutes. And this was amazing, guys. It's very filling. You can have this for breakfast. You can have it for dinner. I mean, options are endless. Hi guys, back with another one as promised. This was very easy to make and I like to tag you guys on easy recipes that you can easily make at home. This butternut squash soup is very filling, especially for breakfast. If you have it for breakfast, you can have it for breakfast, you can have it as lunch, for dinner. The options are endless. You can choose whenever to have it. And what I love about this soup is the fact that it's quite filling. It's very filling. It's very nutritious. You can have it any time of day. You can pack it as a snack and take it to work with a bun. And guess what, guys? If you love batch cooked meals, if you're a little lazy, like I am, sometimes, of course, sometimes, you can pack it in containers and put it away in your freezer. And when you want to have it, just take it out, warm it on your stove. There you have it, an easy 5-minute snack or dinner or breakfast. I mean, who doesn't love easy options? That is why you should consider subscribing if you haven't yet. Press that notification bell to let you know every time we post a new one. And for my returning subscribers, you guys know you are my sugar, spice, and everything nice. So if you enjoyed watching this video, make sure you remember to press that like button. Also leave me a comment down on the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. If you tried this recipe, I'd love to hear how it turned out. As promised, I'll be making these very interesting, easy recipes that you can make at home. That is why you should keep it locked here in the Snow Basket kitchen.
Got a biscuit, got a biscuit. You don't got a biscuit, snow biscuit. Catch a biscuit, catch a biscuit. You got a snow biscuit, wow. Oh, got a biscuit, got a biscuit. You don't got a biscuit, snow biscuit. Get a biscuit, get a biscuit. You got a snow biscuit, wow.
Thank you for watching. See you on my next one.